YouTubers, Cowboy fans? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Time to make another video. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. This video is about, well, with the recent disciplinary actions and player involvement with Tristan Hill, the second round draft pick this year, Antoine Woods, and a funny comparison, David Irvin, Taco Charlton. I want to break down the two seemingly different ways of looking at these stories. We got one that all of this is the players' fault. The players are at fault. They're missing meetings or coming late to meetings and getting punished, or they're falling asleep in meetings, or they're just not good enough in practice to make it to the game day rosters. So they're sitting out of games or being inactive. Or if they're active, they're not making an impact during games. So you think of it as it's the player's fault, right? But then you look at it the other way and you think, well, all we've seen, aside from the one little series, All or Nothing, with the Cowboys, that Jason Garrett is not really much of a disciplinary kind of coach, like Jimmy Johnson or Tom Landry or Bill Parcells. You know, he doesn't command that fear that they would. So you think maybe between his coaching or, you know, Rob Marinelli, Chris Richard, and all the rest of the position coaches, that they're just not either coaching these guys up to their potential, or they're not seeing what is truly wrong with these guys to coach them up. Or maybe they're just horrible coaches and we've just been giving them credit when they don't deserve it. It's just players' natural talent. So you kind of see how it's weird to take this the last 2 weeks when there wasn't really much to talk about there than Michael Bennett. Then these reports about the whole meetings and stuff started coming out. It just kind of wonder, David Irvin says, it was Jason Garrett basically calling him out on his skills and him being mature or not with the whole weed thing. And then you got Taco Charlton, same thing, saying he's good, but he's not getting the chance to show that he's any good. So, coaching. But then you saw him on the field, and when he was on the field, he just wasn't getting anything. David Irvin, different. He did have the talent, and he did show up in games when he was active. Unfortunately, he wasn't active enough in the end to justify anything. Same for I don't know about Rico Gathers. That was more of a project. That was definitely not something that was going to be guaranteed to work either way anyway, because he hasn't played football since middle school, I do believe it was. So he was going to be a pet project no matter how that turned out. And trying to turn somebody back into football to play a position that otherwise coaching probably would have had him better in, like, New England, because they have the more air raid offense with tight ends going out for passes more than they're in line for blocking, and that's quote unquote what they said was wrong with him. He couldn't block. Yet in some plays of the game, you do see he actually does make good blocks, or he drops passes, or it's the other way around. He'll make a great catch, but the rest of the team freaking nullifies the play with a hold or something crazy, So you just kind of wonder, in the long run, if we do not win this year, what in the end will be the call from the Joneses? Will it be, let's give Jason Garrett another shot because they listened to him and they played for him and they just didn't execute? Is on the players? Or are you finally going to get the axe on these coaches and be like, well, we got the talent, all world talent. I mean, it's shown that we got all these all pros and, Pro Bowlers and guys who can come out here and put something on film every week, but due to coaching ineptitude to put them into bad position or bad timeouts or bad situations or bad play calling in the offense, we're just not seeing what they can do. So you're kind of stuck between, as a fan, who to blame. Is there blame? Is it just not clicking all the way around with coaching and player execution all at one time? Is it just bad coaching one time when players execute, or is it bad execution when the coaches coach? I mean, there's just so much you got to think about with the Cowboys that is just so funny. We can't have a day off without a random video like this trying to explain and break down what could be the serious problem between the Cowboys. I've seen both sides of it. People arguing it's not a big deal for Tristan Hill to go to sleep. So I'm saying that Isaiah Thomas is kind of a bore anyway. And you got other people saying he needs to take responsibility. He needs to man up. So you're just kind of stuck seeing it both ways. Like, okay, you're in the NFL, and this kind of lack of motivation is kind of the reason they put a red flag on you in college in the first place, is that you do stupid stuff like this. And you're proving those guys right by doing exactly what you're doing and messing up in your first year. So you just kind of wonder, if all things just crap out and we fail to make the playoffs or don't make it to the NFC Championship or something, and we just kind of blow this season, where are the Joneses going to put the blame, Is it going to be on Garrett and his crew and all the coaches he's brought in? Is it going to be on, hey, this is the reason why we haven't paid Dak, like all the talking heads say, Dak can't get it done, just go out here and get any other one, even though they haven't even answered the question of who you're going to get. They can sit out here and say, oh, yeah, you can just get rid of Dak at the end of the season and just get another quarterback. But they fail to ever tell you who that other quarterback is. So you can end up worse than what you got with Dak. And until they actually tell me who's going to be better and show me that they can do better, like the Teddy Bridgewater argument, that's great. But you have to say that he's kind of in that system, and that system works great for him. Who's to say he can come over to the Cowboys and work in a Garrett-led offense? You can't just plug and play any quarterback into any offense. That's been seen plenty of times over the years, but people refuse to ever see that or acknowledge it. So you're just kind of stuck, We're too high of a draft pick right now to even try to go after a top-name quarterback in the first round anyway. And even if you got them, who's to say their rookie seasons are going to be anything like Dak's? And if y'all say, oh, Dak's only reason for success has been Zeke in the offensive line, you got to start looking that, yeah, our offensive line is paid for through quite some years. But Tyron Smith, the best left tackle in the game, or arguably the best tackle in the game, is starting to break down. Sooner or later, we're going to have to start looking at either kicking Connor Williams out or McGovern out. Somebody's got to be outside, because this guy's not going to make it through the next couple years. He's getting too many injuries. And you're starting to see Martin break down with his knees and back issues. And I don't know, as I go off on a tangent here, what's been going on, maybe like we've been talking about the coaches, the strength and conditioning coaches. Back in the day, we had guys on the Lions that were 330 plus pounds each. And you heard they had injuries, but you never really saw like any kind of drop off, because every man was 330 plus or so, or at least 300 and up. And those guys didn't have to be mobile. They didn't have to do all this newfangled crap that today's NFL has to do. And you didn't hear them getting hurt all the time like our guys with their backs. Never had a problem with, Nate Newton's back, or, half of these guys' backs being hurt or their knees or something unless they're getting chop blocked. You never had that problem. You didn't have, any of them doing, well, at least that's what we don't know. It could be different. They might have had injuries we just didn't know. But even their backups, if they came in, they still held that line. Nowadays, look at our backups. Our backups get in the game, and you can tell they're backups because, unlike our coaching, the opposite team's coaching sees that we get somebody who's not all world on the line, and they attack that person, and it shows because we start having pressures on Dak and he's making mistakes. Or we can't create holes for Zeke. It's just kind of ridiculous how we can't seem to find capable backups. I understand all our cap money and everything is going towards starters, and our depth is kind of crap. It's been that way for quite some time now. But you think all the confidence they blow up our skirts with our depth on the line, you think they can step up and hold it down for a game or two. Cam Fleming was supposed to be so great, and yet the man looks like nothing compared to his play the last couple years for blocking for Tom Brady. I don't know, maybe he's only been able to block for a statue, and he's not used to blocking for a mobile quarterback. I don't know. But Brandon Knight, all the talks about him in preseason was that this kid wasn't ready. And yet he's out here outplaying freaking Cam Fleming. So, I don't know. It just comes all around full circle to player execution or bad coaching. So, I'm going to leave y'all with that. I might make a poll out of this. Is it bad coaching, or is it bad player execution, or a little bit of both? Either way, I hope the Cowboys win on Monday night against the Giants. Keep going in the NFC East race, because we can darn sure know that the Eagles are still gunning for us. There's no way they're trying to drop another game to go any farther behind after they lost straight up one-on-one. But again, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you watch more. Have a good day. Peace.